Everybody, how's it going? My name is Grovan, and this is going to be a very quick review of the single-player component in Battlefield 4, which just came out on October 29th in North America anyways. Now, to be quite and perfectly honest, I wasn't really expecting much considering everybody plays Battlefield for the multiplayer. No one really cares about the single player, and I'm sure there are people out there that do care. But all I'm saying is, obviously, Battlefield is more known for its multiplayer than its single player by far. Now let me just get this out of the way. The single player component is, it does what it sets out to do. It's very, very, very short. I think even shorter than Battlefield 3's campaign, which if I remember right, it was short as well. This one only has 7 missions and the last one is like super short. So yeah, it's incredibly short. In fact, me and my friend went to the midnight release, and when I woke up the next day, I had only played the first mission, and he had already texted me, "Did you finish the campaign yet?" Meaning that he had already finished it, and I was like, wow, is it really that short? And lo and behold, it is. So is that a good thing or a bad thing? Well, honestly, it all comes down to how long you want to be playing the game. I personally think it's a bad thing. I don't really like it when games, put a heavier focus on multiplayer and they just completely phone in the single player, which happens all too often these days with new video games. I'm looking at you, Call of Duty. So for me personally, yeah, it's a bad thing. I really don't like it when single-player campaigns are that short, and I know it's kind of like, well, we're a multiplayer game, but we have to have a single-player aspect to keep up with, Call of Duty and everything else, so we're going to have to do it anyways, and it just didn't feel like they tried that hard, honestly, to me. Now, all that being said, the actual campaign itself is not in any ways, just flat out bad. It's just like boring. It's just like I said, it just feels really, really phoned in to me. It really feels to me like they tried to emulate sort of what Call of Duty does with just, constant crazy action moments. And I don't think Battlefield 3 was like that in its campaign. I know it had some stuff like that, but in this, it's just like over the top. There's just so many explosions and things happening all the time, which, not necessarily is a bad thing, but it really feels to me like they're trying to sort of do the same thing that Call of Duty does in their campaigns. For the majority of the missions, you are just going to be pushing in a straight line, very linear path, obviously, nothing like, other open world games or anything like that, obviously, but you're going to be pushing in a straight path, just trying to take out all the enemies. It's really incredible how much this campaign felt like Call of Duty to me, just because, I played it on hard, and it's, the hardest difficulty, the hardest difficulty in COD is Veteran, and in Veteran, for those of you that have played lots of Call of Duty games and know how Veteran goes, you want to just, rush through places. If you try and kill every enemy, it's going to waste so much time. You just want to try and, get up to a hiding spot, let your squad, kill all the enemies so that you can keep moving on. And it was very, very, very similar to that. I mean, I'm sure, a lot of people are going to like the campaign. I'm sure a lot of people are going to get past the fact that it's incredibly short. But for me, it's just all too much forgettable. And the Battlefield 3 campaign was very much like that to me as well. It was pretty forgettable. In fact, I can't really think of anything right now other than a pretty big thing that happens in the campaign. Other than that, I can't really think of anything that was in that campaign just because it was so forgettable. And this game is the exact same way for me. Now, I want to reiterate that, saying it's forgettable does not mean it's a bad campaign in any way. Forgettable is a bad quality to have, but it does do what it set out to do. It does give you gameplay and a lot of different scenarios that you have to go into, like tank battles and when you get on the little boats and all that sort of stuff. So it does have, some variety, and I know they tried to make the characters really fleshed out, the two characters that you're going to be seeing a lot of in the game, Hannah and Irish. They really tried to make them really, really vibrant characters, but in short, I just didn't care and I just didn't buy it. Something that I have to touch on as well is they tried to put 3 different endings for the end. I'm not going to spoil any of it, obviously, but all the endings were it was the same ending. It was really ridiculous. I couldn't believe that they would try to implement such a cool feature. I mean, I love games that have different endings, but all 3 endings were the exact same, and it was even the same cutscene every time, and it was just I hate to keep using that phrase, but yeah, it was just totally phoned in. So just to recap, I really wasn't expecting much with the single-player campaign of this game, especially because, now it seems that they're going to try and conform to what Call of Duty is doing by coming out with a new title every year, which is fine for die-hard action multiplayer fans, but for people like me that enjoy a good story and stuff, it really means that they're probably going to start phoning in a lot of the features, and it already seems so similar to Battlefield 3 to me, they didn't really change a lot, and I'm like, oh god, because I really did like Battlefield as a series, and it just seems like they're really trying to follow in Call of Duty's footsteps and try and be a major competitor to them. So by no means is it a bad campaign, but it's definitely, not a standout campaign, and like I keep saying, it just felt phoned in for me. So thanks for listening to this sort of quick review. I plan to do this a lot for games that come out that don't really have a lot of video potential. I want to at least give like a sort of review of the single player component. I plan to do this with Call of Duty as well, although with Call of Duty obviously there's a lot more potential for videos. My name's Grovana, and hope you guys have a great day. Bye. How's it going, everybody? I hope you enjoyed that video. If you did, a like is always appreciated, and also if you want to subscribe, the annotation is going to be on the screen as well as in the description below. Also, if you want to watch a video that's usually going to be related to the one that you just watched, you can go ahead and click watch another on your screen. And if you want to help me out immensely, you can share this video on Facebook and Twitter by clicking the share button below the video as well. Regardless, thanks for stopping by. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you guys later. Bye.